Contents are introduction, principle of operation, how EFM works, and selection, and of course, the last, the installation. This is the overview of electromagnetic flow meters, how it looks like. In introduction, the magnetic flow meters are a low pressure drop and volumetric and liquid flow measuring device. The low maintenance design with no moving parts, high accuracy, linear analog output, intensivity, insensitivity to specific gravity, viscosity, pressure, and temperature. It has an ability to measure wide range of difficult to meter the fluids such as corrosion, slurry, etc. Magnetic flow meters employ DC pulse magnetic field system. On principle of operation, magnetic flow meter principle is based on the Faraday's law. Faraday's law states that voltage induced across any conductor as it moves at right angles through the magnetic field is proportional to the velocity of the conductor. Faraday's law is E is directly proportional to V into P into D, where E is the voltage generated in the conductor, V is the velocity of the conductor, B is the magnetic field, and D is the length of the conductor. Now, this is the pictorial view of Faraday's law, wherein a circular tube or a pipe is shown with two electrodes and a magnetic field generated across the pipe. Now, the conductive flow with a specific velocity, if it passes through the generated magnetic field, then it will gives us the flow for that particular path, which is E is directly proportional to VFD. Now, the important thing is the whatever fluid we have to measure needs to be electrically conductive. That is the limitations of electromagnetic flow meter. Now, how electromagnetic flow meter work, we can see in this video. This is the overview of an electromagnetic flow meter, where we can see it's obstructionless, cost effective, and third one is highly accurate. Now, if we see, there are two main part. One is the transmitter and the sensor. Now we can see the transparent view where we can find the electromagnetic flow meter sandwiched between the two pipe flanges. It has an electric coil and two sensor electrodes. Now the how the electric current is passed, that can be seen through the this is an electric coil, this is an electrode, and this is how the electric current pass between the electric coil. Now we can see the actual fluid flow passing through the electromagnetic flow meter. This is how. Once we get an electric current, the ions will get separated and we can have the measurement between that cross-sectional area. Exact We can gather the exact velocity of that during between that cross-sectional area to evaluate ultimate flow between this area. So that is what the Faraday's law state. E is directly proportional to VBD, where K is a proportionality constant. Now about the selection. Conductivity is the main parameters where we have to compulsorily have the fluid which needs to be measured, which flow needs to be measured, needs to be electrical conductive. The fluid pH will also required for the selection of liner and electrode material. Of course, this velocity needs to be in between the range of 1 to 5 meter per second. We have to avoid abrasive slurries. Abrasive slurry should metered at 1.5 meter per second or less in order to minimize the slow meter abrasion damage. So that is how the limitation is. We have to also consider the viscosity of the fluid. Viscosity does not directly affect the operation of magnetic flow meter, but in highly viscous fluid, the size should be kept as large as possible to avoid excessive pressure drop across the meter. Now this is a typical installation of flow meter. We can have the installation of flow meter in the vertical position as well as in the horizontal position. Only what we have to do is to avoid turbulent flow in the flow meter, we have to keep a straight distance of 10d in upstream and straight distance of 5d, that is 5 pipe diameter, in the downstream, so that we can get an accurate reading for that electromagnetic flow meter. You can see there is a bypass wall arrangement also provided in this line. If any maintenance occurs for that magnetic flow meters, we can close these isolation walls of the flow meter and we can open the bypass wall. We can modify or we can rectify the flow meter, and again we can install it in the same place, and we can open that, we can close that bypass wall, and opening isolation wall, again the flow meters can be taken into the operation. So this is all about the electromagnetic flow meter. Thank you.